Hey, I'm Annabelle. I'm a huge nerd, and I started my business, Modular Realms, making magnetic, double-sided dungeon tiles.
Ooh, and I'm Kate. I discovered poi when I was in a circus. I loved how it felt, and I did my PhD studying its effects on health. And now I run a company, Spin Poi, that works with poi as a therapeutic tool. And today we're talking about
Our business ethics and values. Yeah. What are the ethics/values of your business?
Well, we are just getting right in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny that you asked that.
Because we definitely didn't just before this go, wait, can I remember them all off the top of my head?
And then I decided, no, I definitely cannot. This is a working list? Is that what they call things that are always growing?
I think your ethics and values, it's not something that you go, I'm done now. I feel like it's something that you're always working to improve and try to meet.
I hope so. This is what I've got for now. Okay, work closely with Taonga Te Whenua, that's people of the land here in New Zealand, and local community to ensure that our products and services are culturally sensitive and they're acknowledging poi as a Māori taonga, or Māori treasure. This one seems kind of like a general businessy thing that means nothing, but okay, I'll let you be the judge of that. It's prioritize the welfare of our customers, employees, and everyone that our work reaches. And I guess what I was thinking about with that one is like, I want to prioritize customers' well-being, or whoever we're working with, their well-being, over like profit or like getting something done, or like I genuinely care about how that person is doing and what their experience is.
Yes, that makes sense to me. How you touch the customer rather than what you get from it.
Exactly. Ensure everyone has equal access to Spin Poi resources through the Koha program. So that's something that I've always thought about, but I didn't kind of solidify until a couple of years ago. It's basically like a subsidy program.
Oh, yeah.
Because I never want finance to be a barrier to anyone like participating in anything or having access to things. So people can request like a discount. They say, why the resource would be of benefit to them or their community. Request a discount. And then everything currently is free for Māori, any products or services.
That's amazing.
Volunteer 20 hours per month.
Wow.
But I actually made that because I was doing more than that. And so I made it to cap. Not like I'm aspiring to volunteer. I like made it so that I could feel less guilty about saying no to things. So I'll do 20 hours worth of stuff just totally for free. Which goes along with like if someone wants me to come do something. But then at some point I have to say no because it's not sustainable.
Do your work like as a give free talks.
Exactly. And the last one, prioritize gender equality and cultural diversity, both within our internal team and like who we work with. Our internal team. So I do have like a advisory.
Your left hand and your right.
I do have. So I don't have any Spin Poi. I still interchange I with Spin Poi. Spin Poi does not have any full employees of any kind. But we have like our certified instructors, our advisory board, the Spin Poi kids team. Like, so there's people around
that are part of the family, as it were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's it. And the last thing isn't a thing. It's just about like, it says this at the bottom. After all those, it says, we're always learning and growing and doing our best to create the change we want to see in the world. So I think it's just that what we were talking about. It's like, look, we're always just doing the best that we can.
Yeah.
We're making mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, things are happening. But
somehow
I've come up with that list over time. I always like look back at it, change it, tweak it, but that's what it is right now. How about you? Morals and values, where are you at?
So before we started filming this, Kate knows this, you guys don't. I kind of was like, I don't know if I've really written out my values or ethics. I mean, I have on the back of envelopes and things, and then lost them, but I haven't like got a set thing because I've just always done what I felt was right or the best I could.
Yes.
And I guess then therefore that's my sort of overarching value, is trying to do the best I could.
Yes.
The other thing I struggle with is that like when I look at ethics and values and you go on Google to get inspiration or something, I'm like, yes, I want to do that. I want to be that. I want to be that. I want to be that. I want to do that. And it just gets so long. So it's more a case of like narrowing it down to your top ones.
Yeah.
So I guess if I was to try and narrow down Modular Realms values to my top few,
Yeah.
I would say doing the best you can with what you have.
Yeah.
I think diversity and inclusion is huge.
Yeah.
Because for anyone that's played Dungeons and Dragons, your adventuring party is made up of a lot of different people with different skills. You know, you might have the rogue, you might have the warrior, you might have the mage. And your party is usually stronger for having different skills to balance each other out.
Yeah.
And I think the business is just the same. So although I'm not hiring anyone at the moment, when I do get to the point of building a team, it's going to be real important to me to find team members that share my values, but have different backgrounds, different race, different ethnicities, different skin color, you know, different genders. Just because I think the more different experiences people have, the more rich in perspective you become.
I agree. That's the exact word I was going to use. There's a richness to it.
Yes. Trying to be kind where you can.
Yeah.
Like, just always. So if that's, you know, trying to be kind to customers, if it's, you know, if someone, say a supplier lets you down, trying to treat them with compassion rather than being an arsehole on the phone. Like, you know, trying to be what you want to see.
Totally.
Like,
I might actually add that. I always mention that in talks about leading with compassion. I think especially in the world of business.
Yes.
It's often not at the forefront.
Yes, and I think it should be.
I agree.
Like, I think compassion is so important.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely lead my own life that way, but I think I'm going to add that into my company's morals and values. Yes.
And then for me, innovation, which kind of, I would say innovation and adventure are almost the same thing for me.
Yeah.
Because trying something new, something exciting, maybe even something that's not been done before, like innovating and creating and trying out, and, you know, you're going to screw up many, many times, but like the times that you don't, it's amazing because then you do something that's never been done before. Like, so I think creativity and innovation and adventure are very, you know, they're very special as well.
Well, you know what? We're probably not going to lose this video. So if you ever want to write them down.
That's true. I can watch back and
they're not
like,
on a napkin
notes.
anymore. They're right here.
Perfect.
How do you try to be an ethical business?
I think I try to be an ethical business from the decisions I make, from things like the suppliers I go to.
Yeah.
So who they are, where they're based, what they stand for themselves. Are their employees being treated well? You know, then I try to work with people that share my values, or at least aren't in opposition of my values. When it comes to a manufacturer, or if I was to work with someone that does marketing or things. So I think being choosy with who I work with, which is a shame because, well, no, it's not a shame. It's a good thing. But like, you know, being choosy means that
you're limiting opportunities potentially.
Yeah. So things like with every terrain set that I sell, I plant a tree.
Yeah.
And then
that's awesome.
And I use one tree planted because they plant trees mindfully where they should be planted in managed woodlands. They don't just buy a field and plant a load of pine trees to get their numbers. They do it properly.
Even those organizations are greenwashing.
Oh, so many.
Oh my God.
It's so annoying because I want to be carbon neutral shipping and I was about to do it. And then I was downloading the app and then I saw a bunch of reviews saying, be careful because they don't actually use their funds properly. And then I went and Googled it and I was like, you're right, they don't use their funds properly. Great, now I need to do a load of research to find a new one.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of greenwashing
Tons.
out there.
It's super tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't just choose to do the thing, you then have to find the right person to do the thing with.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. I think this is so much at the core of what I do. It's probably the number one thing stopping me from progressing. But at least for now, like, I don't mind that that's the fact because I would much rather know in my heart of hearts that I did what I felt was morally right or the best choice in that scenario. So I'm constantly turning things down because they're at the core is something that's not part of my morals or ethics or values. And of course, I like all the things I mentioned, like giving equal access to everybody and all that stuff, and volunteering, and then at the same time, I get turned down from a lot of things because I'm not Māori and I'm working with a Māori taonga.
Yeah.
So I think between the two sides, I'm really like limiting what I'm participating in. And I've just been thinking about it a lot because I do feel like it's a little bit chicken and egg. I end up turning a lot of things down that ultimately probably could have been quite profitable. And I do struggle, Spinpoint does struggle financially. And as we talked about in the money episode, when you have more money, you can do more things.
Yes.
So part of me wonders if by preventing the company from making more money, by adhering to my strong morals and values, I'm like keeping it at a certain level that is actually then preventing me from doing more good. So I don't know, I'm in that loop all the time.
Yeah, there you go. What are some of the challenges you face when trying to prioritize your ethics?
Yeah. All that. Entering into the market of having a physical product, it's been like a complete standstill because I'm unwilling to compromise on sustainability, on fair working wage. There's just so many things I'm unwilling to compromise on. And then either I can't move forward or the product ends up being so expensive.
Yes.
That I can't be competitive whatsoever. Yes. And I've done market research on like, what would you pay for this? Or like I'm, another person has offered to work with me and then I tell them the retail price and they're just like, we couldn't ever sell this for you.
Yeah.
Like it's so high.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
that's
goodbye.
That's the price of morals.
It's so challenging. Yeah.
And it's really hard because often people will say to you that they want the thing to be done ethically, but they want it to be cheaper more than they want the ethics. They don't want to say that out loud, but in their heart of hearts, they want it to be cheaper more than they really care about it being ethical in all the different ways.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Do you find that with your, like, how did you make your choices around... I mean, it's like at some point something has to give, right? Otherwise nothing gets done.
Yeah. So the packaging, for example, I really wanted to be made in the UK.
Yeah.
I had found a UK supplier, but then they suddenly put their prices up and I was like, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
And I was on a time crunch then for delivering the second Kickstarter.
Right.
So I went with a company in China because I could afford it.
Deadlines are not friendly to sustainability.
And I don't like it at all. It makes me quite sad that I compromised in that way. But, the next time I've already got lined up someone to work with to do the packaging who is freaking awesome, who's UK based, who I share the values with. So in a way, it was a nasty stepping stone to a good place.
Yeah. Which I think is important.
Yeah.
Because you have to get the things out there.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a thing where you have to choose whether to put a compromised thing out there so that you can get to the ideal thing, or put nothing out there at all.
Yes.
And it's a hard choice.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to compromise some people are okay with compromising their values. But it feels sad.
Totally. And I feel like it's very behind the scenes. People only see what you put out, right?
Yes.
So nobody knows all the things that haven't ended up working out or that I've said no to.
Yeah.
But then if I do put out one thing, I feel real nervous if I have compromised on any of those morals or values. Someone is going to be like, oh, I can't believe that you've done this and that you're profiting from this. And so I toil over this stuff all the time.
Yeah. I don't know if ethics and values is as high on other people's priorities as it weighs on my mind.
Yeah.
One of the challenges, I think, is that I care about it more than... Well, it's going to sound so obnoxious to say I care about ethics more than many people in the world, because it's like, wow, you knob. But people may prioritize being able to afford the thing.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. Companies often have things that are higher priority. Not that they don't uphold morals and values, but they have other things that are higher priority.
Yeah. And it's kind of difficult when my challenge is to prioritize my ethics, and I want things made properly. So my terrain's made in the UK.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be moving again to a different UK manufacturer, which I feel will more align with my values and things. And this comes with a cost.
Yes.
And so it comes through in the price tag. But also another one of my, I don't know if a value is maybe a strong word for it, but like, I want my terrain to be accessible. Like, I don't want it to be only for rich people.
Yeah.
Even though it's a luxury product, so I guess, it all by definition is.
Yeah.
So those two are in complete opposition.
Totally.
And it's trying to marry those two together.
Yeah.
You have to be clever and you have to be flexible.
Yeah. And I think you have to be strong in your decisions. Like, you know why you made them, right?
Yes.
And like, even if there is a decision that is a compromise, you're probably making it with the greater good and greater goal in mind. I think at the end of the day, that's what I always fall back on is like, do I feel good about what I've just decided?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, I definitely don't want to do it because I won't be able to defend it.
Yes. I think, to be honest, nobody questions me on ethics the way that I question me.
Yeah, same.
Like, I give myself the third degree. Like, yeah.
What are the benefits of prioritizing your ethics?
I think there's a lot of benefits, actually. You almost seem to attract what you put out.
Yeah.
And so I've definitely had customers that have been attracted by my ethics and values or my personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've also had people that I would work with through as partners or whatever that have been attracted by my ethics and values. Those are the relationships that I am most proud of because it's a relationship formed on a shared belief or a shared wish to do something or to do good and I think those relationships are stronger for it.
Yeah.
Although it narrows the pool and it can make things a lot harder. Like, honestly, sometimes I think trying to be ethical is like trying to run a business with your hand tied behind your back. Like,
absolutely.
You absolutely have self-imposed a handicap on yourself.
Yeah.
But the benefits you can get from it, I do think outweigh the difficulties.
I think so too. And I think for me, I'm playing a long-term game, right? There's a lot of things, well, I don't see it as a game. I don't like that analogy. Anyway, I'm thinking about the long term, about the bigger picture, because there certainly are ways to progress faster right now.
Yeah.
But I think the benefit of prioritizing your ethics and morals and values is that in the end, you're going to have such a strong foundation.
Yes.
You're going to be creating the community around you that you want to see, the change that you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
You'll feel strong about all the decisions you made along the way. They're all really congruent.
Yeah.
Like, you're just really building something strong.
Yes.
I think keeping that at the forefront keeps everything congruent. So at the end of the day, everyone knows that your company, what it stands for. They trust that you're going to do amazing things.
Yes.
They trust you to do the right thing. Like, you just have this track record that you feel good about and everyone else feels good about.
Yeah. I really want to be the sort of business that I would want to support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I had the money to.
Yeah. I remember in the early days, like, there was a big toy company that came up to me and they would give me the business cards and they're like, right, you have to get in front of the CEO and they're really going to want to invest in this. And then I went and, like, Googled the toy company and they were making a lot of crap that was bad for the environment.
Yeah.
They also nicked other people's IP. In many ways, it's a silly decision to turn down a bunch of money and advice and infrastructure and help. I don't regret it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Same when I think back about similar things. And also, like, as cliche as it sounds, it's like the change starts with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like those kind of practices are really common in the world of business.
Yeah.
It's like acceptable just to walk all over people to get where you want to go.
Yes. People almost sometimes people are like, they confuse being a dickhead with being strong.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not strong. That's mean.
Yeah.
They're different things.
It is. It's like every man for them. What's that?
Yeah.
It's not men. Every person for themselves. Everyone's just like
a free for all.
Fighting and clawing and like I don't think it has to be that way, but if I'm not modeling another way, then like who is going to?
Exactly.
Have you lost or gained any opportunities due to prioritizing your ethics?
Yeah, I've lost investment. I've lost partnership deals. A couple of partnerships deals, actually. I've lost things where it would be cheaper if I went for and I've been like, no, I'll go for the more expensive one, or I've not been able to do something because I couldn't do it ethically, couldn't find a way. So I've definitely lost things, and I've definitely gained things. I've gained friendships, I've gained good business relationships with other people. I've gained so much knowledge and experience. I've gained resilience and personal strength.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't feel like I have anything to add to that. I feel like you're like taking the words out of my mouth. I feel exactly
I stole them.
I feel exactly the same way. That's not ethical. You can't steal from me.
How do you be a for-profit business and still do good?
I still describe Spinpoi as a social enterprise because I feel like we have a social enterprise mission at the core. And the main reason that Spinpoi is an LLC is because I needed to incorporate in order to that I did the entrepreneurial competition.
Yes, to get the prize.
And to get the prize, I had to have a company. And the LLC was just like the simplest, cheapest, most straightforward thing to do. So I was like, well, we'll just do that. I was not thinking about like what type of company I want to be.
You could change it, couldn't you?
I could change it. And also I know that becoming a not-for-profit is like a huge, complicated ordeal.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's on the cards in the future. But actually... yeah, just because Spinpoi is an LLC and is making money doesn't mean we have to be following evil business practices. We can still have that kind of social enterprise mission and core.
For me, I struggle with being a for-profit business. And I struggle with the fact that I sell, a toy. It's not something people need. It doesn't, like, on the surface of it, do good.
Yeah.
I think it does, because I think storytelling and connection is huge.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, on a surface level.
Yeah. And I kind of struggle with that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you're a commercial business just selling things to make money. The way I try to do good is that I try to do the whole planting a tree with every order.
Yeah.
I try to do good by supporting local businesses and things. And getting it made in the country where the business is and stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than having it made in one of the countries where it's real cheap, stuff like that. And I also have big plans for the future when I have profits. To be honest, I'd like at least 10% of my profits to go to charity. So I think it's hard to do that at the start because all of the profits that you have, almost, they just get sucked into... just getting the business, building it. But I think once it's sustainable and running, I've got like these ideas in my head of I want to have my green project. So it's called the Druid Scheme in my head because that's a D&D thing. That definitely I want to be a carbon neutral or carbon positive company. That's coming.
Yeah, same.
Then I also want to do something I call the ASMR scheme, but it's... where I want to be running games and teaching people to run games for disadvantaged folks and, really helping people out with it. So I've got those plans for the future. And in the meantime, I'm doing what I can afford to do.
I think it comes back to a lot of what we talked about on the money episode of just like, with more money, you can do more good.
Yes.
So if we just keep, whether you're a for-profit enterprise or not, you keep the do good mission statement.
Yeah, if that's still your heart.
Yeah, whatever profits you make, just go back into feeding that.
Yeah, I think if that's your true north, if that's where your compass is orientating, then even if you are a for-profit business, if you're still making decisions that are taking you in that direction, I reckon you're okay.
I agree. Sometimes people come for Spinpoi like, oh, you're profiting off of our Tonga or whatever. But when I explain... why I'm doing what I do, which is to improve people's health and well-being. Yeah. Like that is genuinely my North Star, and that's hard to argue with. Yes. And I feel really secure in that. Yeah. So whatever money is coming in or going out, it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah. what advice would you give to someone who's trying to start a business and wants to be ethical about it?
That's such a good question. Advice I would give would be to really know yourself and what morals and values you want the company to embody. Because if you are wavering on that in any way, it's going to feel icky. It's going to feel really confusing, and you're going to get pulled in different directions.
That's true.
And it's just going to feel complex and overwhelming and bad, potentially. But if, like, ethics and morals and values can actually act as such a strong compass for all your business decisions if you feel secure in what they are.
Yeah.
So, like, you might not know that at first, but I would just make a start on trying to discover what it is, and then just keep revisiting that and honing that in and using that as a compass to guide you.
Yeah.
Because then whatever opportunities are gained or lost, at least you still know that you were true to that.
Yes.
And get ready for, like, a challenging time.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be real hard. I think you're definitely doing it on hard mode.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a bad thing. But I think you need to be ready for that and have your eyes open that that's what you're doing. And it will be harder.
Yes.
It will be.
Yes.
But the rewards will be greater.
Yes. Even if you can't see that in the moment.
And it might take a while for the rewards to show up.
Yeah.
But it seems to come. Or it has for me.
I agree. Nice.
Hey.
Another very sweet ending.
I just noticed the door was open the whole time.
Oh.